Like Tom Kelly said, the mistake you made that kept you from killing the turkey you made an hour ago, and you didn't know it was a mistake. So setting up on a turkey, to me, is getting to be a lost art. Because I was like, okay, I think I could call him in here, and then I'm turning around facing the other way, seeing what's behind me. There's a big difference in quiet and turkey quiet. And I don't think people give turkeys enough credit. Because, I mean, he can see like an eagle. He can hear like a hawk, and he's up in the air in a tree at 100 feet or whatever. You put yourself in his point, it's like, all right, I just saw that truck park over there on the levee at 500. That's the way my mind works when I'm going turkey hunting. I don't think people give enough credit.
So how does woodsmanship for you and for other successful turkey killers, you could say, play a factor when it comes to turkey hunting?
Look, there's plenty of good ones. That's one reason I love watching Dave Owens so much. He's as good at that as anybody. He's been on my podcast like 5 times, but it's like some of his videos aren't that great if you're just interested in getting the impact. I could care less because he's explaining, he's talking to that camera like you're sitting there on his shoulder. He gets it. He'll talk about, I'm on a side hill this walk right here for this reason and that reason. And you watch him when he sets up, he hides as good as anybody you'll ever see. And if he gets the video, fine. If he don't, that's okay. I think that's a lost art. And look, I work for Mossy Oak. I know how good it is. So does Toxie. You watch Toxie Hayes set up. He's clipping stuff and sticking it here and here and here and here. It's like they've been picked off, beat up, humbled, kicked rocks walking out of the woods so many times. Toxie always say, I don't trust him. And I was like, I don't trust him either. Here's the deal. It's like setting up on a turkey, to me, is getting to be a lost art. Because I was like, okay, I think I could call him in here. And then I'm turning around facing the other way, seeing what's behind me. I don't want him to get to any point where I'm at where he can see 50 or 100 yards behind me and see there's not a hen. Because I ain't going to have a decoy out there unless I'm with a wounded vet or something. I don't have anything against decoys. Don't get me wrong. But if I'm just hunting, I ain't carrying all that stuff. So looking at your back cover and picking out that spot where you need to park and set up your camp, to me, it's kind of getting to be a lost art. Don't have any issues with people popping up blinds or putting the blinds in front of them. That's cool. I want to trick him myself if I'm hunting fair and square. And it's like, all right, I'm going to use what's here. If I'm lucky enough to have one that's answering me, I'm going to use what's here and look around. And to me, that's the fun part of turkey hunting. I try to explain to people what the difference is in quiet and turkey quiet. And I have a favorite story. I had 2 guys that were buyers for some big box store or something. And I'm a really good host. I love to have people entertained. I was in a little crummy mood this morning because I got handed this task at the last minute, and I was supposed to be taking Lauren and her mom, my wife. And I was like, okay, whoever was going to take them couldn't get it. Tyke said, you got to be here. I said, I'll be there. So anyway, I got the girls lined up. They're going to hunt on their own. And this is when flip phones first got out. And so I was kind of, all right, we're going to go. I was telling my guys, we're going to go down here and listen. And I said, you got to be real quiet because, it was a perfect morning. And I was trying to text with them a little bit, y'all in the right spot. So I was kind of preoccupied. So anyway, I walked out there and I owl hooted one time and they're moving around whispering. I was like, you got to be quiet, man. And I waited a minute and I owl hooted again and they were walking toward me and back. And I was like, I leaned up and I said, you got to be quiet. And he got a little offended. What do you mean? I said, when you're making noise in the gravel. And I said, I'm listening. Tom Kelly says, turn your whole body into an ear. And that's what you're doing. But they thought I was like being rude to them. I was like, here, do this. Get over in the grass and stand still, separate, and listen. And it's like, there's a big difference in quiet and turkey quiet. And I've had the hardest time teaching my grandsons when we were walking in, pick around, ease, look where you're going. And I go with some guys who won't use a flashlight moving in the woods. And I don't use a flashlight. I got a tiny little thing about that big. It'll throw a beam about that big because I'm an anti-snake guy. But it also helps me pick out little sticks and stuff or a sloshy spot. And I don't think people give turkeys enough credit. Because, he can see like an eagle. He can hear like a hawk. And he's up in the air in a tree at 100 feet or whatever, you put yourself in his point. It's like, all right, I just saw that truck park over there on the levee at 500. That's the way my mind works when I'm going turkey hunting. I don't think people give enough credit. And some of them don't deserve it. You know, I brought Jim Kewen from the Roost down here. I used to go out there and film all the time. And he had never hunted in the South. And I was like, I'm going to bring you down here and show you what it's like. And man, mosquitoes, turkeys don't gobble. It's hot. And he's like, man, I don't know if I want to do that. I said, they tough. You need to come experience this to know how good you got it. So I took him right out here out of town, opening day, because his season hadn't opened yet. Had a turkey I thought was roosted on this power line. You up to him one time, he pitched down, he come running down there, boom. 4 minutes. And he turns around and looks at me like, of all people that to happen to. So you don't always have to be like that. But when your opportunities are few and far between, I tell everybody, look, whisper, be turkey quiet. Like Tom Kelly said, the mistake you made that kept you from killing the turkey you made an hour ago, and you didn't know it was a mistake. So big difference in quiet and turkey quiet.
And that's such a good aspect of woodsmanship, is that, along with you were talking about earlier, the setups.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing I had to learn over the last few years, because there's one thing about bird gobbles, you get in a rush to set down, especially the birds within 150 yards, and you just grab a tree versus really analyze, like, maybe I should back up or I need to reposition it in order to like get the setup great. So when he pops up or he comes in, especially we hunt a lot of hill country, he can't see to where I'm at until he's in shotgun range.
That happened yesterday.
He came in too close, and we had a problem. But
It happens. The more you hide from him, the better off you're going to be. And I don't mean, I have a folding saw on my vest, and that's for like when I'm in Florida with wounded, but most of those guys are not mobile at all. But I'm always going to clip something and put it in front of me like that in the side, because it seems like the older I get, the more I get come in without saying a word. They may have answered you once or twice, and then there it is. And it's hard to hide from them if you're just sitting out there against a tree. So that's one reason why Dave Owens, to me, is so good. And look, we won't ever know who the best turkey hunter in the world is. We ain't going to know. He may be some guy driving a gravel truck, and maybe some guy selling copy machines. You never know, because they ain't talking about it. But I can tell you this, the best ones in the world, the best turkey hunters ever, they think about that. They're like, I'm going to be quiet. When I sit down, I'm gonna make sure I'm hidden, and I'm going to get real comfortable, and they know how to be still. Best thing that's ever happened to me, and I was the worst at being still and patient, because back then, like I say, I was filming. We did 5 TV shows one year, or for 3 years. 3 of them were 52 weeks. Think about how much you got to bring in. And I was the world's worst. Let's move on to another. Let's move on. And of course, I kind of outgrew that stage. But when I got a turkey seed, it made me a way better hunter than I am right now. And most people laugh at you when all right, we're going with Cuz. Well, he's kind of old. Keep an eye on him. And I'll get that turkey chair out. This pretty little. I put a sling on it. Don't have a cushion on my Dixon vest. And when I decide where I'm going to sit down and pop that thing out, probably it's like, I can sit there for forever. And it's helped me. And it's funny how no matter how long you've done it or how old you get, you learn stuff. I learn stuff every year. I get humbled. I got humbled out there the other day. It's like, I really got humbled down in Florida with the grandsons this year. And there was 5 really close encounters, 3 of them with me. And all 3 of them were mistakes I made. And I was like, I cannot believe I did that. And I didn't know I did it till an hour later. Tom Kelly's the smartest guy on the planet. The mistake you made an hour ago is what kept you. So